We've just come back to a cemetery in the heart of the Cheshire countryside, where we came a few months ago when the weather was a bit warmer. It's not turned out too bad today, but when we came a few months ago, we came down to this particular part, and there seemed to be a lady just appeared from nowhere, from behind one of the stones, the headstones, with a tiny little dog that was making such a noise. It didn't seem real for a dog of that size to be making such noise. And then she said a few words to us, and then we turned around, and the next thing, she didn't seem to be around anywhere. And I've come down right to the bottom here because this is the way that she turned, and it was actually a dead end. There's no other way out of here when you turn around, because it's all fenced off right around. And when we turned around the second time, she was just nowhere in sight. So I've just made a quick visit back here just to see. It was very, very curious. We might come back here just to check out with some detector equipment, just to see whether it was real or not. But it was a very strange, it was one of those things where at the time you've not got your camera on you, and it just seemed very surreal. A few minutes later, didn't think anything of it at the time, but for some reason she came over talking to us, and we could hardly hear anything she was saying because of the dog. And like I say, it was such a tiny little dog, but it was making such a lot of noise. And she did just seem to appear from nowhere, from around this area. Whether it's going to be worth coming back to check it out properly with some equipment when, like I say, when the weather picks up a bit. It's actually quite cold today, but at least it's nice and clear. So it's got obviously with it being a graveyard, it's got a strange feeling to it, but still very curious about that particular day, who she was and where she appeared from and where she actually went after we turned around to leave, because we've been down to that end and it is fenced off to the fields at the back, so I don't know which way she must have gone. She just seemed to disappear when we turned around. So it may be worth coming back to check this out as a possible location for something, with some electromagnetic equipment and voice equipment, to see if we can pick anything up.